under the blazing Mexican lights, where thousands of voices merged into one deafening roar. The night felt carved from pure electricity. The air was thick, not just with heat, not just with anticipation, but with the weight of expectation placed squarely upon the shoulders of a 20-year-old prodigy who had already become the pride of a nation. Saul Canelo Alvarez, barely out of his teenage years, walked toward the ring with the poise of a man molded for greatness since birth. His emerald-green trunks shimmered beneath the spotlights, his jaw steady, his eyes sharp, and his face glistening with the calm sweat of a young champion who understood the gravity of defending his newly won WBC super welterweight title. Across from him, making the walk into an arena that felt like enemy territory, was England's Ryan "Spiceboy" Rhodes, a veteran, a technician. A man whose journey had been paved with heartbreaks, comebacks, and the kind of grit only age and adversity can teach. The #1 contender stepped through the ropes with determination etched across his features, trying to silence the deafening chorus of a crowd hungry for blood, hungry for dominance, hungry for Canelo. The referee called them to center ring, and for a brief heartbeat, silence fell. Two fighters, two paths, converging in a violent ballet of ambition. When the bell finally rang, Mexico erupted, and the story began. Not of youth versus experience, not of contender versus champion, but of a rising force of nature meeting a man willing to risk everything to halt the inevitable. The stage was set, the arena pulsed, and the story of destruction, precision, punishment, and pride was about to unfold under the unforgiving glow of the spotlight. From the opening seconds, the difference in speed was unmistakable. Canelo, smooth and calculating, stalked Rhodes behind a measured jab, dipping at angles, peering through the Englishman's guard as if dissecting him one piece at a time. Ryan Rhodes, aware of the danger in every punch that left the champion's fists, worked cautiously behind his jab, trying to keep distance, trying to settle into a rhythm. But the power difference echoed through the arena each time Alvarez touched his guard. Canelo stepped in with double jabs, rolled under Rhodes' left, and whipped a right hook over the top that sent murmurs of excitement across the crowd. Every shot Alvarez threw had weight, purpose, intention. At times he toyed with switching southpaw, then slipped effortlessly back to orthodox, a young man already experimenting with mastery. Rhodes attempted to answer with flicks of the jab, with feints, with the occasional brave counter, but Canelo's patience made him dangerous. He didn't rush. He didn't smother his work. He just waited for Rhodes to commit, and when he did, Canelo buried hooks into the body like hammers striking steel. In the third round, the Mexican prodigy began walking Rhodes down with chilling calmness, his gloves slicing through openings, his feet cutting the ring into smaller and smaller pieces. A sharp right hand cracked across Rhodes' chin, sending the challenger backward, eyes wide, legs betraying the first hints of panic. Then came the combinations, jab, hook, right hand, and a thudding left to the ribs that made Rhodes grimace. The arena roared each time Canelo landed clean, each punch echoing like a message. The young king was not here to defend, he was here to dominate. By round 4, Rhodes tasted the canvas for the first time as Canelo detonated another brutal sequence to the body and head. Rhodes rose, but the tone was set. The storm had arrived. By the 5th and 6th rounds, the fight had transformed into a masterclass in controlled destruction. Canelo wasn't simply landing punches. He was dismantling Rhodes piece by piece, taking away the legs, draining the breath, and erasing the confidence of the seasoned English challenger. Rhodes tried switching southpaw, hoping to change the angles, hoping to confuse the young champion. But every adjustment opened a new door for Alvarez. Each time Rhodes stepped left, Canelo folded him with a left hook to the liver. Each time he circled right, Canelo cracked him with a chopping right hand to the temple. The body shots were relentless and cruel, surgical stabs beneath the elbows that echoed through the arena like thunder. In the seventh round, Canelo's combinations became almost frightening in their composure. Slipping a jab, ripping a right uppercut, turning Rhodes, then punishing him with double hooks that made the Englishman stagger backward. The commentary at ringside began reflecting a grim inevitability. Rhodes was fading, his punches slowing, his footwork eroding under the weight of the champion's precision. But what made Canelo's performance remarkable was not just the power, it was his patience. He never smothered himself, never grew reckless, never stopped thinking. He stalked, cut off space, waited for Rhodes to exhale, then drilled him to the ribs again, forcing the challenger to fold inward. The statistics told the story. Canelo was outlanding Rhodes with power shots by margins rarely seen in championship fights. 50-14, then 80-20, then even wider. The crowd could sense it, chanting his name, rising with every clean punch. Rhodes' corner pleaded with him, "Don't stand in front of him." But it was too late. Canelo had found the rhythm, the heartbeat of the fight, and he was pressing with steady, suffocating inevitability. The beating was no longer competitive. It was methodical, brutal, and undeniable. On the fight entered the championship rounds, the courage of Ryan Rhodes became the centerpiece of the story. Though behind on every scorecard, though battered to the body, though breathing in labored gasps, he refused to quit. He kept trying to fire back, kept searching for the one punch that could shift the tide, even as his legs trembled under him. But courage is only one half of survival, the other is durability, and even that was beginning to abandon him as Canelo's punishment accumulated. Alvarez, only 20 years old, showed composure beyond his years, stepping inside, rolling under counter hooks, and returning fire with combinations that snapped Rhodes' head back violently. A right hand to the ear, a left to the solar plexus, a short uppercut on the break, each shot chipped away at the challenger's remaining strength. In round 10 and 11, Rhodes attempted small rallies, landing occasional combinations, trying desperately to keep Canelo honest. But the champion simply absorbed them, smiled, and stalked forward again. The Mexican crowd, sensing the end was near, rose to its feet with every thudding shot. Rhodes' corner shouted instructions mixed with frustration. Fire 2s and 3s, don't switch, stay off the ropes. But their fighter's body no longer obeyed. Meanwhile, Canelo's confidence had reached its peak. His footwork grew smoother, his head movement sharper, his willingness to trade more daring. Every time Rhodes tried to escape, Canelo cut off the ring with an ease that bordered on cruel. In the 11th, a wicked left hook to the liver made Rhodes stumble sideways, nearly sinking to the canvas before sheer will forced him upright. Yet, everyone knew, fighters, trainers, audience, that one more clean sequence might end the night. Alvarez, smelling blood, kept pressing, the lion in full hunt mode, circling his wounded prey. Then came the 12th round, the final act of a long, painful unraveling. Rhodes, knowing he needed a knockout to win, came out firing with the last sparks at his pride, throwing combinations with everything he had left. The crowd applauded his courage, but every punch he threw created openings Canelo was ready to exploit. Alvarez stepped inside a wide left, countered with a brutal right uppercut, and followed with a crushing left hook that shook Rhodes to his core. The Englishman staggered, his legs unsteady, his balance failing. Sensing the end, Canelo unleashed a blistering assault, double hooks, a straight right, another left to the ribs, then a right to the temple that sent Rhodes spiraling toward the ropes. The referee hovered, watching closely. Canelo didn't let up. He pressed forward with merciless precision, landing punch after punch until Rhodes' defenses simply dissolved. A final combination, hook to the body, hook to the head, right hand upstairs, froze Rhodes in place. his arms hanging low, his eyes distant. The referee stepped in. The fight was over. TKO. The arena erupted into a storm of celebration as Saul Canelo Alvarez, 1 month shy of his 21st birthday, secured his 27th career stoppage, retaining his WBC Super Welterweight Championship in dominant fashion. The crowd chanted his name as the announcer's voice boomed through the stadium. Your winner by technical knockout, and still the undefeated champion of the world, Saul Canelo Alvarez. The young star lifted his gloves to the heavens, the weight of triumph resting on his shoulders like a crown. Rhodes, battered yet dignified, embraced him, his courage unquestioned, his effort valiant. But the night belonged to Canelo. It was more than a victory. It was a statement, a declaration of future greatness, the moment the boxing world realized that a new era had truly begun.